Hi, this is Rick Chromey, and I want to welcome you to this very special session on how to control your fears when you speak publicly. Now, I've been speaking professionally for over 35 years, and I can tell you that I still get nervous. I mean, it's something that even the most experienced speaker still deals with and still struggles with. So if you're just beginning in your public speaking journey, or you're just starting to think about being a professional speaker, and you see these individuals on stage and you see how polished and powerful they are in their communication and how they just have a way of having a presence on the stage, and you're wowed by that, don't overlook the fact that they're probably dealing with nerves themselves. Everybody gets nervous, and what I want to do in just this short time together today is just give you some thoughts about how you can improve or really better yourself in controlling your fears.
Of course I would. It's hilarious. Oh my God, yes.
Hey, Sarah.
Yeah.
I'm going to have you present on last quarter at Thursday's meeting. Sound
Okay.
good?
Yeah, sure.
See you then.
This is my nightmare. What's going on here? I have to give a presentation.
Oh no. Remember what happened last time? I'm sure it'll be fine though.
It won't be fine. Hi everybody, we had a really interesting last quarter, and I went to bed until I was 10.
You nervous? We can all tell you're nervous.
Your hair needs to be re-dyed.
I'm going to promote you and then fire you.
I know you eat string cheese for breakfast every morning.
String cheese.
String cheese. String cheese. String cheese.
I gotta get out of this. Brent, buddy, pal, what is up? Your hat is killing it.
I'm not doing the presentation for you, Sarah.
I lied, I hate your hat.
Quinta likes it.
Candace. Ew. No. Hey, Quinta, I got your favorite candy.
Oh, thank you.
So I have a favor to ask.
Of course you do.
I'm supposed to give a presentation tomorrow, but I feel like you would be so much better at it.
I mean, I was there, but I'm going on vacation tomorrow. Sorry.
No problem. Hey, you. You're gonna do this presentation. You're gonna kill it. No crying this time. There'll be no tears, because it's gonna go so well. Hi guys. Thanks for being here today. I guess you have to because you work here. So, okay, time for presenting. So this was a great quarter in some ways, not so great quarter in other ways. Oh God, I'm messing this up so badly. I bet everyone can smell my fear sweat. I'm fired. I'm so fired. I can hear my boss now. Sarah, you suck. Please leave. No, you can't keep your stapler. It's company property. Get ready to move back in with Mom. At least she'll cook for me. Meatballs.
That was great, Sarah. Fascinating stuff. Thank you.
You did it.
Yeah.
Didn't even cry this time. Nope. You didn't remember something about meatballs at the end. What?
Having fears are common. You're going to have them, but controlling them is what separates the good speakers from the really great speakers. Fears and anxieties, when they start to emerge within me, there are physical consequences. I have a shaky voice. I sweat. There's a lump in the throat. I forget words. There's a fear of embarrassment. Sometimes I stammer. I have mental paralysis, or I can tremble, or I have a monotone voice. Some people will have a monotone voice. Blushing is another consequence. Fear of judgment, nausea. Can you relate to any of those? Well, we all deal with them, and it's important to understand that there are particular situations that trigger anxiety. So let me just walk through 4 of these triggers, because they're key to understanding how to control your fears. First of all, new and unknown situations. I mean, let's admit it. New experiences are stressful. If you're in a situation where you have to introduce yourself, for example, that used to be a huge anxiety trigger for me. when I would have to introduce myself and tell a little bit about myself to a crowd of people I did not know, especially in a circle group. I didn't do too bad when I was on stage because I could get into a part or I could perform. I come out of an acting background, so I understood how to kind of put on a mask to introduce myself there. But when I was in a small group where I had to be a little bit more vulnerable and transparent with my message, often that experience was extremely stressful. My anxiety, my heart would just pound within my chest, and I was very nervous in introducing and just saying some simple things about who I am and what I do. They do cause high levels of anxiety for many of us. There's also the risk of failure. I mean, from our childhood days all the way even into adulthood, we dream of success. We want to be victorious. We want to have achievements. We want to do things well. And for many of us, if we don't finish first, if we don't get to the top, if we don't have excellence in everything we do, that risk of failure creates anxiety. There's also the potential for appearing foolish. It's not just about achieving goals. We all want the circumstances and the situations to work to our advantage, and we want them to accomplish our goals. No one wants to suffer any type of disgrace. We don't want to get up there and look bad. And the possibility of embarrassment creates fear. It creates panic. We don't want to be foolish. And then there's the possibility of boring the audience altogether. We just have this idea. We're looking out into the audience and we're speaking, and the fear starts to wash over us as we see certain people already responding to what we're saying. We all want every audience member to engage and just be thrilled with our message. And so this fear of not being able to connect is very, very real, even for the most experienced presenters. So what can we do about some of these things? Well, let me just encourage you that as you try to manage anxiety, that you look into three particular areas or three particular ways that you can do that. First of all, I would just call your attention to the idea of just getting experience, especially if you're just starting out as a speaker. Just get some experience. I learned in one of my doctorate classes on presentations a long time ago this simple mantra. It just simply is this: preparation and practice prevent a poor performance. Let me repeat that. Preparation and practice prevent a poor performance. When I teach my teaching students about how to be better teachers, and it's the same thing with communication, whether you're giving a speech or a presentation, or for some of you pastors, you might be preaching. Preparation and practice prevent poor performances. I often say if you don't prepare, you repair, because preparation is 90% of your success in the delivery, in the actual communication. So preparation is key to that. And for some of you, it may be as simple as practicing in front of a mirror. It might be rehearsing in front of family and friends. It might be delivering a speech. For example, I belong to Toastmasters for this reason. I highly recommend Toastmasters International as a great way to hone your speaking skills, even if you're an experienced speaker. To go out there and join a club for a year or two or more. I've been doing it for several years, almost a decade now, and Toastmasters has given me a number of great skills. It's improved my speaking skills. And delivering a speech is one way that you can do that. And just simply giving speeches wherever you can. Just giving speeches wherever and whenever you can. At Rotary clubs, they're often looking for speakers. If you can get out there and preach, for example, on a Sunday morning in a church looking for a preacher, there's all sorts of ways that you can get some experience. Another thing you can do is to visualize. And research actually helps us out here. Research shows that vividly imagined events are recorded as strongly as memories. And what that means is that as you're going into a situation, if you can visualize what is going to happen, and I like to think of a baseball player here as he's standing at the plate, he's visualizing, and we often teach this to our baseball hitters, as they're learning to hit and as they're growing in their hitting skills and ability, we teach them to visualize a home run or visualize getting a single, visualize getting a double, visualize putting the ball where someone isn't, visualizing those things. And I would say the same thing for a speaker. As you're getting ready to go out on stage, visualize that introduction. Visualize yourself coming out with a very strong opening. Visualize what you're going to do as you speak clearly and loudly, forcefully, those initial points. And as you're making your movement around the stage, visualize everything. Visualize the audience responding to you, laughing with you at places that are appropriate, maybe even crying with you at places that are necessary. Imagine the audience in connection with you. Imagine when you leave the stage that there's wild applause and here, we want more, and visualize those things. And as you do, you're going to find your confidence will increase. Another thing you can do is right before you speak, or even in the days up to it, as you feel anxiety start to bubble, is to practice some relaxation techniques. And there are a number of those that you can look at. Obviously, to calm the mind, there's a lot of isometric exercises that help you reduce stress. You might focus on areas where there's tension, for example, in the shoulders. You might move your shoulders around. You might turn your head, rotate your head around, kind of loosen up your neck. Inhale. One that I really, really like, it's a way of relaxation as well as visualization to a certain extent, is that I like to, it's a breathing exercise. And what I do is I breathe in what I want and I breathe out the anxiety. For example, I breathe in peace and I breathe out, fear. I breathe in confidence and I breathe out, pain or anxiety, lack of confidence, whatever it might be. You do these type of things, and as I breathe in, I hold the breath just for a moment. And then as I release the breath, I visualize that anxiety, that fear, that worry, that whatever it is that's bothering me, that nervousness, I release it to let it go. That's a way that you can do it as well.
What is the one thing Americans say they fear the most, even more than dying? It's public speaking, heart racing, panic, no place to run. And we're seeing so many famous examples on tape tonight. ABC's John Quinones decided to see how to tame that fear.
Ladies and gentlemen, director and producer Michael Bay.
He's one of the most successful men in Hollywood, behind movies like Transformers. But last week in Las Vegas, producer-director Michael Bay was giving a speech when suddenly he froze.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
He had to leave the stage.
Okay, let's thank Michael Bay for joining us.
On his website, an embarrassed Bay said live shows just aren't his thing.
Not big on speeches.
He's hardly the only one.
Shoot.
It's something Noah Gordon lives with every day.
It's exhausting thinking about it.
Noah works at a Chicago-based marketing firm, but he's deathly afraid of public speaking. He says this paralyzing phobia affects his entire life.
Your brain shuts down, so you just have to stop.
So why do we panic? Experts point to evolution. Long ago, when many eyes were on you, chances were you were prey, about to be attacked. So today, when you're in front of one of these, a primal part of your brain thinks it's actually one of these.
We had to either flee or fight.
Priscilla Shanks, a public speaking expert who's consulted for ABC, explains. The sweating is so that the body can cool off quickly. The shallow breathing so that the oxygen can go to the muscles. And then the adrenaline kicks in. All to help us fight harder and flee further.
None of that works for modern man when he's feeling frightened in a situation which is asking him to be cool, calm, collected, and connected.
That's it!
Noah found a class at the famed Second City Comedy School. They put people on stage and get them comfortable with the sound of their own voice. Some of their secrets? Number 1, breathe deeply right before starting. That sends a signal to shut off the fear response. Number 2, get right to it. The first 30 seconds are when you're most likely to panic. So ask a question. Get your audience involved.
Eat it in the club.
Noah says it's helping him face those cats back at the office as a lion himself.
Rust.
I hope this entire session has been helpful for you as you learn to speak or as you improve your speaking skills. One thing I want to leave you with is this thought, this concluding idea and insight. The audience is on your side. I know this is something, a lot of times we fear the audience, but the truth is the audience wants us to succeed. Now, granted, there may be a few out there that once you start to stumble or once you start to make a mistake or you maybe you fail in one way or you say something wrong, they're going to take note of it. They may even put it on YouTube. Who knows? Hopefully not. But there are people out there that will take advantage of your mistakes. But for the most part, an audience comes to listen to you be successful in delivering what you're talking about. I do workshops for a living, and people come to my workshops because they want to be fed. They want insight. They want ideas. They want inspiration. They're on my side when they walk into the room because they have purposely chosen to be in that room with me. So that audience is on my side. But even if I'm speaking, doing a keynote to a great group of people who are there, perhaps even if they don't want to be, but they're there, I look at I visualize and I anticipate that the audience is on my side. They want me to succeed. They want me to do my very best. And usually that relaxes me when I recognize that the audience is on my side. And one little tip here to help you do that, one way that you can get the audience on your side, especially if you're in a workshop situation. So for those of you doing presentations or in workshops, one of the things I do is first of all, I get to the room early. I want to be the first one in the room. I don't want to be setting up while people are coming in. I want to be totally ready for the first person. My presentation starts when the first person arrives. And sometimes that can be 15, 20 minutes early than the actual start time. That's why I have pre-shows and other things that entertain and inform in my presentations. It's like a movie theater. I give announcements and different things I want the audience to know as I prepare them for my workshop. That's going on in the first 15 minutes before the workshop actually begins. However, one of the things that I do that has really helped me is to get to know the audience. While my video is running, my pre-show video is running, I'll often go out and I'll just introduce myself to audience members. I find out where they're from. I listen to, why they wanted to come to my particular workshop, or I ask them about, interests, things that what are things they like to do. I just get to know my audience. It makes it easier for when I start to present. Too many presenters are rushed. They haven't prepared well. They're not ready to present, and so they're trying to get their technology to work. They're trying to get papers handed out. They're dealing with issues. If you don't prepare, you will repair. So I'm telling you, preparation is key to being confident and successful as a speaker. And if you want to control your nerves, the easiest way to control your nerves is to be prepared. But one of the ways, again, to get that audience on your side is to relax and get to know them. And the best way to do that is before the session even starts. Well, this is Rick Chromey, and I want to thank you for listening to this session on how to be a better speaker, a better communicator, a better pastor in your message delivery on Sunday morning, whatever it is or wherever it is that you present and share and communicate. That's what it's all about. Communicating for a change. Have a great day. This has been a MANNA Educational Services production. If you'd like to know more about what we can do for you to help you become a better leader, teacher, pastor, or parent, please check out our website at www.mannasolutions.org. That's www.mannasolutions.org.